So how many people here have heard of the comic book hero Swamp Thing? Yes. So Swamp Thing's story is that he was a human scientist and fell into a swamp and was imbued with these superhuman special powers like super strength and the ability to control plants. Well, as a wetland scientist, I have fallen into a swamp many a time and unfortunately have never been imbued with any special powers. But what if I told you that wetlands actually do have special powers that other environments don't have? And these powers are critical to certain environments and to the humans that rely on them. So one of these special powers is the ability to process materials in our environment that are harmful to environments. And the material that I'm going to talk about is phosphorus and nitrogen in fertilizer. Now, in the US, we use a lot of fertilizer to grow our crops, and this fertilizer has a lot of nitrogen and phosphorus in it because plants like it. So what's wrong with nitrogen and phosphorus? Well, when it travels into streams and rivers and eventually into marshes and estuaries, the algae that are found in these environments start growing like crazy, just like plants do. And these large algal blooms that result from all this nitrogen and phosphorus block out the sunlight from other aquatic species, and they also consume oxygen as they decompose in the water column. And so the fish and coral and other aquatic life start dying out because they don't have any oxygen to breathe and they don't have any sunlight for their growth. This creates very catastrophic environmental conditions that we call dead zones, for example, in estuaries. And the Gulf of Mexico supports a dead zone that is practically the size of the state of Connecticut and is growing every year because of all the nitrogen and phosphorus that's coming through the Mississippi River, which is very heavily agricultural. So, gasp, what are we going to do? Da-da-da, here come wetlands to save the day, our superhero. So wetlands have special sorts of conditions. They're an environment that supports microbial or bacterial processes and other sorts of conditions that are able to convert nitrogen and phosphorus into forms that the algae can no longer use. They can't eat it anymore. And so, unfortunately, this superhero that we have, the wetland, is very undervalued. And for centuries, wetlands have been drained for human development. And so if we want to be able to save the Gulf and other hypoxic or low oxygen zones created by these algal blooms, we will need to start valuing our superhero, the wetland, a little bit more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Monica.